So what this basically does is it gives me four options where I'll be able to upload my subscribers to this list. And once they've been uploaded successfully, I'll then be able to select them when creating an email and then send out to those people. So I've got four options here. The first one, copy and paste, is basically exactly as it says. You can copy a bunch of email addresses out of an email or an Excel spreadsheet or just a text file and paste them in and then add them as you'd like. You can also type them out manually yourself. Then there's subscriber form. Subscriber form is basically emulating using a subscription form like you'd see on a website. Using file upload, you'll have the option to upload either a CSV or a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So if you have an XLSX file from Microsoft Excel, the external MySQL database, the final one, is only relevant if your data is housed on a database coded in MySQL. So what you'll go ahead and do is click on file upload as your choice. So all it's asking me here is just to click on the choose file and find the file in my computer. So there's the file here. It's on my desktop, database demo XLSX. I'll double click and then you'll see it's selected here as database XLSX. And all I have to do then is click next. It'll tell me I'm uploading this file, sure I want to proceed. So I know I've got the right file, click confirm. Now you'll notice that it's taken me to the next stage where I need to map those fields. So inside that Excel spreadsheet, I had two columns, one with the email address and one with the first name. It's very simple. Once you've got to this stage and you've uploaded the file, just click on the drop-down menu here and choose the relevant piece of information to map it to. So I can see that this is an email address, or maybe I have the header information that says as a label email address. Then I'll just choose email address as the corresponding piece of information. And I can see here that I've got a first name, so I'll just choose first name. And now those have been mapped. So once I click next and go to the next section, it will then find all those email addresses in that row and it will add them to the email address field for those subscribers and create the subscribers. So I'll just go through a couple of the settings here, just so you understand what they are whenever you go through this process and add subscribers. The first settings, the import settings, it's very important that if you're adding subscribers to leave these three settings alone. The top one that's set by default, don't add to suppression list, is what you select and what is selected by default if you're adding subscribers. The only time you'd use these other two is if you wanted to block subscribers. So the two options you have here is add to global suppression list, and you'll notice when I click on these, it takes away those other options, which is a clear indicator that you are no longer adding subscribers. You're now taking away and you're globally suppressing them or suppressing them on just the list. Now what these do is, what these do is that they basically decide if you choose add to global suppression list, all these subscribers that I'm adding will be globally blocked from receiving emails across your entire account. So no matter what list I add these to, they won't receive emails so long as they're on this global suppression list. It is possible to remove them off the global suppression list, but that's what this functionality is for, to basically block all emails going to these email addresses I'm currently importing. The next option is exactly the same functionality, but it's not across the entire account, it's just for this list. So basically what I'm saying in this add to the list suppression list is these emails that I'm importing must be blocked regardless of whether they get added to this list again or removed from this list again, because they'll be on a separate list that says anytime this email address is added to this list, it mustn't receive email. Again, that can also be removed from this list suppression list. So because I'm just adding them, I'll just keep the default don't add to suppression list because I don't want to suppress them. The next two options we have, again, they're perfectly fine as they are by default. The first one is update the subscriber information of duplicates with import data. That basically means that when the system finds the same email address that exists, say for instance you've already uploaded michael@totalsend.com and it finds that as a duplicate in the list, if I have this ticked, it will find that and just update that with any more information that I have. So say for instance I first uploaded michael@totalsend.com, but I didn't have the first name. If this is ticked, when it finds michael@totalsend.com again and says, okay, you've already got the subscriber, any additional information like the first name will then be updated and added to that subscriber. The next option is trigger autoresponder subscription behaviors in web services and update statistics. So This is unticked by default because it does slow down the import process a little bit. Basically because what it does is it looks through your entire account's lists and sees, does this list have some sort of subscription behavior set up. Now, that is like a autoresponder or something. So if I've set up an email, for instance, to go out to this list a certain period of time after they've subscribed, that is something that will then be triggered once I do this. If I don't have this ticked, it won't run any of that any of those things that you've set up. So we'll go through what autoresponders and stuff do later, but this basically is just the option that allows you to choose whether or not that even happens when this person gets added to the list, or just add them to the list and don't do anything. Okay, so once I've finished all those settings and chosen the email address and any other relevant information, I just click next, and then the system will go ahead and import them. Now, I purposefully added a certain type of email address so that it would fail, just to demonstrate what a failed email address looks like. So I added 5, and one of them failed. The one that failed was a role-based email address. Now on bulk imports, what we do is role-based email addresses are typically not used by individuals. They're used by a position in a company, like a role in a company. So we block those because there's a high chance that those aren't fully opted in subscribers. There is a way of adding those email addresses, and if you're doing it in large numbers, you'll need to just contact us and we'll upload them for you. But typically, we try to stop most clients from just randomly uploading large amounts of email addresses to start with, info at or accounts at or anything like that, admin at. Any email address where the name of the email starts with a position in a company. So see, if I click the download, it will give me a little CSV file which I can open, and it'll show me which email address failed, and this one is admin at. So I've got admin at TotalSend because it says admin, it blocked it, and I'll know, okay, well, it's a role-based email address. It's still a valid email address. It's just not